had seen this video on YouTube where a beautiful lady made grown woman habits girls learn too late. And for me, that's also in line with the topic, things I would tell my 20-year-old self. If I could go back and make some changes, start things a little earlier than I did, what I will tell my 20-year-old self to start investing in, what she should focus on, what she should deprioritize, how to better navigate relationships and communication with people. It all ties. And then I decided to sit and speak about things I wish as a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old. And honestly, some parts of my late 20s, I wish I had picked up, I had started. I wish I really put more focus in or did differently. I don't know, for some reason, this is always a touchy subject for me to talk about because I know that there are a lot of things I could have done better. I could have addressed better. But I am glad things went the way it went because there's a reason why I'm able to sit here and talk to you guys. I'm able to, put down the knowledge that I have accumulated over the years. I had to go through those experiences to have something to speak about. And that's why I'm grateful that I went through the things that I went through and I learned the way that I had to learn. But I just want to sit here and pour this knowledge back to someone who is listening, probably going through the same thing. You might be in your early 20s, you might be in your late 20s, you might just be entering your 20s as a whole, you might even be in your early 30s and you're struggling. That's all fine. You just need to hear from a girl like me, girl to girl, telling you things that I've experienced in the past. And I'll recommend that, you don't experience the way I experienced, and habits that I picked up or did not pick up. So you know what to do and what not to do. Now, if this is the first time you're watching a video from me, it's the first time you're seeing my face, hi, my name is Lucy. I make self-development, self-improvement, a sprinkle of lifestyle videos here and there, so you see behind the scenes of my life. I highly recommend that you subscribe. I say we have a good time because we genuinely do have a good time on this channel. I do make videos as well on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to have them linked below. Highly recommend that you follow me on there as well. It's a good time. It's always a good time on all these platforms. As long as I am the one speaking, you would have a good time, okay? Now, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. First thing I want to talk about is that thing of trying to fit in. I understand. And as somebody that have been there, I have done questionable things. When I say questionable things, like I question myself. Sometimes when I even sit down and think about the things that I let slide or the things that I indulged in, like when I was growing up, or how my confidence level was, what I entertained, I'm like, oh my God, why? Okay. Now there's this urge, there's this need to fit in, to be liked, to be seen, to be accepted. And when you're growing up, I can understand that fear of being the odd one out. I can understand the FOMO you get. I can understand how, you not being liked can affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, and all that. And obviously, when you're young, just entering your 20s or in your 20s, full-fledged, 20 to 29, I can understand the pressure to actually be favored, to be looked at as part of the crowd or part of the crew. So you tend to follow trends, and trends in all aspects, career, dating, lifestyle, everything. That's one of our biggest problems. I would have said, it was a back in the day type of thing. It's even worse now in 2025. Fitting in, following the trends has gone completely mad in 2025. Everybody wants to do what everybody is doing to be accepted like everybody is being accepted. It's a cycle of craziness. I get it. There is always class, elegance, favor, light in uniqueness. And that is something that I didn't learn quick enough. I knew my weird sides. I knew things that were quite different from my peers and all of that. For some reason, honestly, I wasn't even that bad. There are certain parts of me that I accepted and I sat with and I embraced wholeheartedly. But for the most part, there's a way my life was curated at the time that was completely not me. It was not my journey. It did not fall into what God has planned for me. The way I spoke, I've spoken about this before in one of my videos. I can't even remember which one it is. I remember when I just started YouTube, I spoke a certain way. I don't even know where I generated that accent from or that way I spoke. Like I wasn't myself, and it was very clear. Content creators at the time all had an aesthetic. They had a flow to things. They had a particular niche they were in. It was either beauty, lifestyle, fashion. The content were all similar. Cameras were all similar. The lighting was similar. The pictures were similar. And just to be part of that crew, be part of that crowd, I felt like I needed to do those things the exact same way to get the success that they had. that. It was a whole complete mess. It was a complete flop. Obviously, the channel that you're watching right now is completely different from how I started, because at some point I needed to snap to reality and be like, okay, that's not you, and that's not going to ever be you. You need to accept that. And we fall into that where it's like you need to be a certain way to get the amount of success that people in your group get. I just wish someone had told me years ago, sat me down to explain to me the importance of being true to yourself. It doesn't matter what you like, what you do, how you do it, what you indulge in, the kind of things that give you peace and joy and happiness. Bottom line is, it is what gives you peace, joy, and happiness. That's all that matters. And you need to keep doing that. You need to accept that. You need to dwell in that. You need to keep doing more of that. The moment you start to embrace yourself, you start to enjoy your uniqueness, your characteristics, your style, your career path. You might not want to go to uni, although I strongly advise that you do go to uni, but you might not want to. You might not have the passion for it, or you might want to go to uni and study something completely, different, things that people would hear and be like, oh my God, what is that? That's okay. It's not for them to understand. It's for you to understand. It's what you want to do. And that is something I wish someone had told me earlier on. And growing up in my 20s, early 20s, I'm grateful for the point I'm in right now because it is lit over here. If I have the opportunity to tell somebody that is in that phase right now, early 20s, getting into 20s, late 20s, early 30s, whatever, and they're trying to figure things out, I will tell them, first thing you need to do to actually have the life of your dreams, to live your authentic self, to be happy, step away from the trend. Step away from the unrealistic way of living. Believe me when I tell you, you really haven't experienced life, essence of life, the flavor of life, until you step out of the bubble that you have created for yourself. The second thing that I wish I learned and picked up a little bit earlier is learning how to properly date. This is a very, very broad topic, and everyone has their own experiences, journey, stories. If you notice on this channel, I don't really dive deep into like dating topics as I should. I mean, I could at some point, but I really don't prioritize dating topics as much because I feel like dating is very peculiar to individuals and the couple in that situation. So no matter the advice I'll give you, it might not really work for your relationship. It's working for me because it's me and the person. You get what I mean? Me and my person. And it's what we're able to put together. It's our formula based on our personalities and past experiences and our current situation and how much we love each other, how much we're involved with each other. You can't use the same formula for your relationship and expect it to work. It could work. There are certain things that you could pick. That's why I said maybe I'll make some dating topics or dating content, but for the most part I really don't prioritize those type of topic on this channel because it's very, very peculiar to the couple in the situation. Now, when I say not learning how to properly date, growing up there's always a standard dating rule. I don't know who created the rule, but it's standard where everyone is going. People don't even know the difference between dating somebody and being in a relationship with someone. They're two different things. Girl, if you're hearing this for the first time, I don't even blame you because it's not a thing that is properly talked about or taught to people that are just getting into dating. There is a whole difference between going on dates with someone, talking to someone, and being in a relationship with someone. Now, I'm gonna say this for anyone who is dating and those people at the back who argue this as well. The moment you step out of texting the person, messaging somebody, you have gotten into the dating phase. And the dating phase is not the relationship phase. When you're in a relationship with someone, you're exclusive with someone, it's completely different from when you're dating somebody. When you're dating somebody, you're going on dates with them to get to know them. There's a difference. And when you're talking to somebody, you haven't met yet. There are differences. And these are things that I didn't learn until later, much later. The moment you learn about proper dating, you'll be able to navigate dating differently. You'd have better dating experiences. You'd know how to categorize the dates you go on or the people you speak to, what they are truly, what certain conversations mean. If not, you'll just be dating and be confusing yourself up and down. And that is what happens to majority of the youngins nowadays. You confuse yourself so much that you end up in situations you're not supposed to be in because you don't know how to date. Learn how to date, you would have better experiences with dating. If you want me to have a dedicated video about dating, just let me know in the comment section. Third thing I didn't take my time to actually invest in is the commitment to myself. When you're growing up, there are a lot of distractions. When you first get into your 20s, when you're in your 20s, there are a lot of distractions. There are a lot of things you pay attention to. The trends, the boys, money, the parties, the drinking, the eating, the traveling. You pay so much attention to other things and you forget about the most important thing, which is yourself. I didn't start to do the work on myself until, oh my God, very late. Honestly, very late. And that's something that I wish I started doing on time. And I give myself grace because I'm growing up. I don't know better. I should leave, right? But when it comes to prioritizing things, like when I'm prioritizing things that I should do, is to get to know me, learn me, what I like, my body, what excites me. You know, just that thing about being obsessed with yourself, learning to just embrace you, knowing your characteristics, bad and good. You know, what makes you tick, what gets you alive. Those are the things that I wish is a habit that I had. Being obsessed with myself, being committed to myself, making myself promises instead of making men promises. I wish I just directed all that energy and poured it back on me, where I was making promises to myself, making plans with myself, you know, just lived with me for a while. Maybe you might not understand the context of which I am saying, but if you know, you know. I honestly didn't have enough me thought. I didn't have me thought at all. And I never really focused on the relationship I had with myself. And this is something I wish I did. The best relationship you can ever have is the relationship you have with yourself and the one you have with God. And these are the two type of relationships that you should prioritize before anything else. And that is something that I didn't learn until later. Fourth thing, it also relates to relationships, like communication with people and all of that. I didn't learn true friendship. I didn't understand friendship as a whole. And that's something that I did not even put myself. I've always said this. I've never been a friendship person. I've never really looked at friendship as something that I really should prioritize. And this is from growing up, right? And for that reason, I did not even look into what a proper friendship should look like, if I even wanted one. Sometimes I confuse myself so much. It's the same thing with relationship. If you don't know how it works, you'd make mistakes. You place people where they're not supposed to be placed. You will let people in that you're supposed to be getting rid of. I just wish I had learned to categorize friendship a bit better, understand the different dynamics when it comes to friendship, understand that it's okay to have different types of friends that give important value in different areas of your life, and that's okay. Yes, I learned them now, I know them now, but I wish I had the opportunity or someone like this video I watched at that point that taught me friendship, learning real friendship, good friendship, categorizing friendship, understanding how friendship works, what to expect from a good friend, how somebody is being a bad friend, if somebody's been a bad friend, what are the signs to look out for. Those were the things that I didn't really do my research on, and honestly I didn't care. I didn't care because I didn't care for friends at the time. So now that I'm in a space where I actually do appreciate my relationships and my friendships and I take it really seriously, I know what I should look out for. I know what a real friend looks like. I know what a surface level friend looks like, but it doesn't make them a bad friend. You just need to learn how to categorize people in your life. You shouldn't be letting everybody have a seat at your table. They need to prove themselves to get a seat at your table. And that's something that you need to think about. Now, my fifth thing is in line to what I just said. People need to show themselves. They need to add value to your life to get a seat at your table. So if there is something that I do wish I had started doing earlier, is being strict. I was a tough girl. Still I'm a tough girl, but I'm a little bit of a softie as well. But I just wish I was a bit more strict, setting boundaries, cutting things, seeing things for what it is, accepting it and moving on. There are certain things that I just wish that I didn't allow. I put my foot down, being more assertive, being more firm. I just wish I had that knowledge, that thought. And again, I'm growing up. You give yourself grace. Despite the fact that I'm telling you about all of this, I need you to understand that you are at a phase where you need to learn, you need to grow. So you need to be very gracious with yourself. You have a video like this that helps you doesn't mean that you wouldn't make mistakes still, despite knowing these things. And it's okay if you make those mistakes. It's just that you know what you need to be doing, right? So even if you fall short, you'd always find your way back at some point. I hope. But anyway, I just wish I set my boundaries. I was firm. I knew exactly what I didn't want, what I wanted. I had a sheet. I was structured. I was disciplined. Those are things that I just wish I had, a hand holding through this process. Honestly, it's not easy, even being an adult, being a woman right now. It's not easy to actually go through with so many of these things without failing. Trust me, you would fail. You go back multiple times. But as long as you're on the right path, you would always come back to that path and finish the race. Okay, but anyway, that's pretty much everything that I have for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Follow me on my socials, Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to have them linked below. Thank you guys so much for all the love, the support. I really do appreciate every one of you. I will definitely see you in my next one. Bye.
Those of you that are listening in your car, at your job, you at home, I don't care where you at. Turn this up right now, because we're about to